my God. Oh my God.
Not loud.
Oh my God.
Not loud.
Oh my
God.
Evening, everyone. NFC Beast coming at you live again. Everyone. NFC Beast coming at you live again. Okay. Jeez, I think we have them in order now. So, yes, this is Talkin NFC Beast coming at you live once again. It's Thursday evening. So, we are happy to be joined. I'm happy to be joined by my co-host, Revis and Maine. How you fellas doing tonight?
Doing all right.
I'm doing great.
Oh.
Beautiful day to be talking NFC Beast.
No, we don't want you with your ugly ass face in the camera.
Hey, look, I'm gonna do this the gentleman way. I'm doing well tonight, Mike. How are you?
Fantastic. I'm doing especially well since, seeing as how we finally got another W after losing 2 straight and coming off a bye.
No doubt. I feel you.
I'm happy about that. But just want to remind you fellas, you ladies and gentlemen tuning in to Talking NFC Beast, to make sure you hit that like button and make sure you hit the subscribe button so you can get notifications when we go live on air. So we do this every week, and we enjoy you guys tuning in. So having said that, let's get to it. I mean, I want to come right out the blocks and talk about the game of the week. I don't even want to slow walk it into it. I just want to get right to it. I see Maine is on his humble man tonight, and Trevis is trying to be humble.
Hell no, he ain't. No, really, hell he ain't.
God, no one really. Show your true colors, Trevis. Don't need to fake it. He over there trying to say, well, I'm happy with the win. No. Go on, turn on your Eagles music like you want to and do your yelling thing.
I mean, it's all about who's going to talk first in this particular situation. Brother Avery, you may go first.
It's all yours, brother.
Brother Avery,
you gonna give it to me? You gonna give it to me? Look, if you gonna give it to me,
Brother Avery got to go first.
I got to go first. Okay. Of course, as we all know, the outcome was not in the Redskins' favor. I'm gonna be straight up with you. The Eagles got a good team. They do. They got a good team, and they're playing really, really well. Now, I'm not saying it a damn again. You can forget that. Please believe me. But, that game was a solid game. I think both offenses played pretty well. The Redskins defense did not show up. There are a couple of plays in particular that I can point to that really told the tale of that game. One in particular was a 3rd down play on the goal line where the Eagles had the ball. They were looking to score, and went through a pass to Alshon Jeffries, and there was a pass interference call, a definite pass interference call against Milkerson. And in those type of situations, when you get a chance to stop a team on 3rd and goal on like the 3 or 4 yard line, you got to make that stop. You can't get a penalty. And that really killed the Redskins from that standpoint because they didn't make that stop when they needed to make that stop. That's one play in particular. That's one key play. Another key play is when they almost have Carson Wentz in their grasp in the red zone again. And he somehow finds a way to throw a floater over the shoulder of Zach Brown right into Clement's hands. You got to make that play. You got to make that tackle. These are key plays. These are key moments in the game that can stop momentum and hold a team that has a good rhythm going. These are plays that have to be made. And then the third play, the key play that I didn't like, was this punk-ass Houdini-ass Wentz gets out of a pile somehow. And
why it gotta be names? Why it gotta be names?
Hey, look.
Why can't you just say your point?
No, I'll say this punk ass Houdini ass went.
The reason why I'm laughing so hard.
Hold on. No,
Cash has his hand over his mouth.
Give me my chance. Give my chance to talk. Y'all maybe go first. I'm gonna call names. It is what it is. This dude comes out of the pile and runs for 17 damn it yards. What kind of foolish? I mean, I was so mad. You gotta make that tackle. There's no excuse. That's just what it is. So, when you have key opportunities to stop a team from putting, a lesser amount of points on the board or either stop a drive, you gotta make that play. And the defense did not make those plays. And that really told the story of that game. Because if you look at the stats as far as Kirk Cousins was concerned, he did everything he was supposed to do. He played a good game. He threw for over 300 yards. He had 3 touchdowns. He did have a pick, but he played a solid game. He had a QB rating of 110.7. You can't be mad at that. You can't be mad at that kind of play. Carson Wentz had a good game as well. He started off a little rocky, but he stayed solid throughout the game, made some really good throws. He played really well. Now, I will say this. Carson Wentz is getting a lot of accolades right now. He's playing well. I get it. But I heard from Adam Schefter earlier today said that he has a chance to be one of the top 20 quarterbacks of all time. And I'm like, this dude ain't even had a whole season worth of good play yet. And you already talking about he could be in the top 20. That's crazy. That's crazy talk.
They're eager. It's so eager.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not taking Wentz shine by any means. But come on, man. Let's pump the brakes a little bit. This dude need to have a whole season where he's successful and takes the Eagles to the promised land or win something other than just a few games, than a handful of games. Y'all got to agree with me on that. I mean, you can't give this man the crown just yet.
No, you get no argument from me with that.
And my thing is this. The Eagles are playing well, and they're a good team. They're not a great team. They're a good team. They have components of their team that are really good. That front seven on defense is solid. They legit, no doubt about it. And they have a really good balance on offense. But you measure a team by when they get through them struggles. You don't measure them when they're doing well. You measure them when their backs are against the wall. They got to fight through the situation. When they're not getting all the breaks, when things aren't going their way, you measure a character of a team in that respect. I'm not saying that they can't do it. I'm just saying that's what I would like to see. And it's coming because it all comes full circle. It happens. It happens to every team. They go through a spell. They go through good points. They go through bad points. Granted, there's no excuse. The better team won on the big game on Monday night. I don't have no excuse for that. It is what it is.
The better team won. And for me, where I noticed things change was that touchdown pass to Mac Hollins. That's, for me, that's what broke y'all back. That's what kind of started the separation. And poor Swearinger. I'm kind of mad that it was the Eagles who showed the world that this boy can't cover to save his damn life, because I promise you Dallas won't get those same opportunities. Like, unless Minuski's just an idiot to kind of hang him out to dry like that, because basically if you can go max protect and send one receiver deep at him, you're going to win, that play against him, because the boy can't cover. And he gave up another touchdown pass after that.
Yep.
I'm forgetting to who that one went to, but boy, he got exposed.
He did.
He got exposed. And I like Swearinger. He's a thumper.
Yeah.
He's good for that, but kind of reminds you of Roy Williams for the Cowboys back in the days. That cat would knock your block off, but couldn't cover to save his damn life. And in fact, he was afraid to cover.
Yep.
Which is why he flamed out quickly, because he lost his balls.
Didn't he end up with the Bengals at some point?
Roy Williams?
Not Roy Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who?
Yeah.
Yeah, Roy Williams.
Yeah.
I think he did stop at the Bengals for a three for a hot second with Mike Zimmer.
Okay.
With I think he went there with Terrence Newman and Terrence Newman went to the Vikings first, I think, but they followed Mike Zimmer for a while, him and Pac-Man. But yeah, I think Roy may have had one more stop after he left the Cowboys, but he flamed out pretty fast. As far as the Redskins offense went, I mean, they were doing their thing. I saw a couple of things with Kirk Cousins that I didn't like. To me, it seems like he's still not identifying the blitz in his hot reads at times, which is crazy because he's been in the league too long to be missing stuff like that.
Let me interrupt you 1 second. I agree 100%. There was one play in particular where it was a third down, and it was cover zero. They had everybody coming. It was man to man, all on the outside, no disguising it.
Right.
In that situation, you got to call a timeout.
Mm-hmm.
You got to call a timeout. They had 3 of them. You got to call a timeout, readjust, find a different play, audible, something. You got to change something. You cannot take that fire like that. You cannot do it.
The play where I think you're talking about is he didn't see the blitz coming, and he had a hot read off to his left, and he never even looked over there. I was like, and like you said, they didn't disguise it.
No.
They were raring to go. They were right there. It's like at a minimum, you have to believe there's a chance they're going to blitz. I don't know if he thought they were bluffing or whatever, but it was just, he looked like a rookie on dang, dude. Like, find your hot read, which was off to the left, and he never even looked over there and threw a near interception, trying to throw like a 7-yard out pass. I don't know with him, but he showed up. Josh Doxson was okay, but I never realized until last week how light in the ass he actually is. Like, he's a skinny dude, man.
He's tall, but he's not big at all. He's not big. Yeah.
Right. I that until this past week. I didn't know how small he was or skinny he was. He's tall as hell. And I don't know what's going on with your boy, your Alshon Jeffrey nemesis.
Oh, Pryor?
Yeah, Pryor.
I tell you, he lost his starting job. Doxson took his starting position.
Who? Pryor? The Cleveland Brown?
Yeah.
Oh man, I've been telling you.
Now you gonna talk.
I've been telling you. Man, I've been telling you about that Cleveland Brown in a long time. I've been telling you the entire season about the Cleveland Brown boy. I said he's not a Redskins. He's a Cleveland Brown. I said it from the beginning. I mean, I remember you had heated debates with me when I said nothing at all. It was plenty of times where I said, I don't know about the Bull Pryor. He was in a horrible, horrible, horrible system in the Cleveland Browns, and he doesn't know how to get himself out of it.
But you know what's crazy?
It just is what it is.
It's crazy. What's crazy is I agree with what you're saying, but Alshon Jeffrey still ain't that much better than he is, stat-wise. Guess what? So what's that say?
Guess what? Though?
I think they're both in the wash.
Hold up, Cash.
Taking Trevis's analogy, basically saying,
listen, we could win. We could win with Alshon Jeffrey. You can't win with Terrell Pryor.
They have to wash the Cleveland Brown off of and they have to wash Chicago Bears.
It's proven though. Hey, Cash, it's proven.
So you're telling me you're winning games because of Alshon Jeffries?
No.
Oh hell no. We're winning games because of Zach Ertz.
Then what's
but I'll tell you right now,
you can win. You're saying you can win a game with Alshon Jeffries, but you haven't done it.
Hey. Did we win the last game with Alshon Jeffrey?
No, you said you can win games with Alshon Jeffries. It won't because of him. It was the
last game with Alshon Jeffrey. Regardless, y'all still had.
Not because of him.
Y'all still blanketed Alshon Jeffrey with extra men.
False. It wasn't no extra men.
There was an extra man. Y'all had somebody over top of him. And if you know defense, when you look at defense, you can always tell the safety was layering over top of Alshon Jeffrey. He's always there. He's always in the vicinity. They still have that fearful doubt that he may run off and then get a bomb out of nowhere, and then they got to worry about him being in the headlines.
At a minimum,
They know it.
Jeffrey is in a better situation right now.
Yeah,
Right.
because even though everybody got to cover the safety, got to cover the tight end also. Tight end is so good that you have to put somebody over the tight end, and it's normally the safety because linebackers can't run with Ertz. As you can see on one of the downs where he had to throw a pass, went through a pass to Ertz, that bubble pass, that thing was crazy. Ertz did like a little button hook out, and the linebacker couldn't even stay with him.
Yeah.
So again, if you gotta cover a safety and you put Ertz and Alshon Jeffrey on the same side, the safety has to take Ertz. Why? Because he's our top receiver right now. Regardless of his position being a tight end, he's still the top receiver. So leaving Alshon Jeffrey all by himself, which makes me into another understanding of disappointment, is why is he not getting open?
Who?
Is he even trying to get open?
Who?
Alshon Jeffrey. Most of the time, Alshon Jeffrey hasn't even attempted to get open.
Alshon Jeffrey is not that type of receiver, dog. He's not a separation receiver. He's a body.
Well, every time I look at a Chicago highlight, he's by his damn self.
Because he didn't have.
So I'm trying to figure out
the reason why in the beginning, because he wasn't a number one, so he had that opportunity to be by himself.
That's true. He was on the number. He was a number 2.
He was a number 2.
Yeah.
What's amazing is that everybody in the NFL is treating him as a number 1 though. Because if you're trying to put a safety over top, you're treating him as a number 1.
Everybody like who? Everybody like who?
Now on the Eagles, they have to.
Yeah, Eagles.
Well, I mean, every team. I'm just telling you, every team is playing him as a number 1. Right now, he's being played as a number 1.
He is your number
Whenever
1
you
receiver.
give him,
he is your number 1.
He is. Yes, he is.
I wouldn't double him though. He hasn't shown me that he deserves that type of respect yet.
Exactly. So I'm trying to figure out why is everybody doubling him.
But that
if you look at the tape, he's being doubled over the top and when a man on it.
But that might be one of those adjustments that happen down the line, when teams start checking.
I can't wait because I really want to see Alshon Jeffrey actually do something.
And they might start doubling Zach Ertz like you see teams doing Witten and
Kelsey. And Kelsey too.
Yeah,
they're trying to do Kelsey the same way.
Yeah. So
I can't wait because I can't wait to see Hollins and Troy Smith actually get off on people when they start to undermine their speed by doubling other people. That's the appreciation of the Philadelphia Eagles offense right now. They haven't even been able to unlock everybody on the team. I feel like right now the Philadelphia Eagles are on levels, and I see the levels as far as everybody that's on the team. You haven't seen anybody really. They've been spreading the ball around so much that you haven't seen anybody actually unlock. Like, I haven't seen Torrey Smith get the bombs that he should be getting. I haven't seen Alshon Jeffrey body people and put his body in a way to catch passes that are needed. Only person that you've probably actually seen is Ertz. You've seen Ertz. You've seen what Ertz can do in a red zone. You've seen everything that can go down, but you haven't been able to see everybody else fully blossom and actually handle the offense the way that's needed to be done. And I can't wait until Blunt actually opens up and becomes the Blunt that we used to seeing, and that we're used to seeing him, get the 5 yards in a cloud of dust. Maybe the San Francisco game will allow that because of the rain, which would allow the offense to just, slow it down, run the ball down their throats.
Carlos Hyde is a good football player. Just going to throw that out there real quick.
He's good.
Get into it, but yeah.
Oh, okay. So just to answer, just to piggyback on some things, that pass interference to Alshon Jeffrey should have never happened. I'm grateful that it happened. Like I say before all the time, I'll take it. He just never wanted to turn around. I thought it was an interception, to tell you the truth, but he never turned around. So obviously that's a pass interference.
It was. Had Mickelson turned around, you're right. He could have made a play on the ball, and it wouldn't have been pass interference. But he never got his head around, and he bumped him. He bumped him early too, so it was a clear pass interference. Yeah. No doubt. Yeah, that's how you don't talk trash to players. They were talking trash all night, so you could tell their heads weren't even in the right place. Because when Alshon Jeffrey caught that little crappy ass pass on the side, he was all hype about it. But I'm like, dude, you went nowhere. What the hell was that? Like, you all in his face for what? Like, you caught a little pass over your shoulder. What did you damn do? You're supposed to be down the field by now.
But I mean, it is what it is. But you could tell that they were jawing at each other the entire night, and it just wasn't needed. When you talk about that running back throw where Wentz was supposed to go down, that play that they said came out of his college books, that was an amazing play. I think it just happened at the perfect time with the right angle of a throw because the pass was on a spiral and then it turned into a wobbler and he just happened to hold on to it. I was like, legitimately when I was looking at it, I watched it, I said, get the freak out of here. I can't believe that just happened because his feet came down right in balance, right where he needed them to come down, and he held on to it to the ground, which was amazing. I remember we talked about
balance, that. Right in balance?
Yeah, in balance. In bounds.
In bounds.
In bounds.
Okay.
Come on, man. He was in bounds. You said in balance. He was in bounds.
You said balance.
So whatever. So his feet came down in bounds. So that was great. And the Wentz run, as we spoke with it before the cast, hey, Wentz looked like he was about to go down. He didn't. Most of the people that were around him were his own men. And then his own lineman picked him up and threw him forward. So, everybody wants to give credit to Wentz for not going down, but his lineman wasn't allowing him to go down. He was actually holding on to him and pulling him forward the entire time. So I guess most of your linebackers thought, oh, he's probably going to throw deep. So he ended up with 17 yards. Say the truth, if he runs to the left, he runs for a whole lot more yardage. I don't know what he was looking for at the time, but if you look at the replay, if he runs to the left, he had a blocker right behind him. He hit a blocker actually off to the left. I don't know where he was running. I have no idea whatsoever. When we talk about Wentz being a top 20 quarterback or top 20 of something that you expressed earlier, I wrote it down here. But do I say Wentz is good? Yes, Wentz is good. Do I say Wentz needs to experience a little bit more to become better? Yes. I think a lot of things are going his way right now. But I don't think if adversity hit him, he wouldn't be able to overcome it. And I think that's the big speculation because, like y'all say all the time, who's on the Philadelphia Eagles? Who? You say who? They're making their own name right now, and a lot of them are rookies that he have on his team. A lot of the rookies that are playing, and I think that's the whole view. But we're really going to figure out who the Eagles are right now when you look at it and you say who's on that offensive line, and we continue to start shuffling. Fortunately, it's better than the running back by committee that we have because I'm hoping it's better than the running back by committee that we have that they start shuffling people around. You talking about team struggle. I thought there was team struggle against the Redskins. I thought there was a lot of teams struggling against the Redskins. I've watched plenty of games where the Eagles would have let that game go when they started a game off with all those penalties in the beginning and ended up back on a 3-yard line. I think the Eagles would have let that game go back in the day, but they didn't. They fought back. They fought back, and they fought back big. That bomb that came out, I had mentioned to y'all plenty of times. I thought Torrey Smith should have been getting bombs. I was surprised that was Hollins running deep. I thought it should have been Torrey Smith running deep, but it was Hollins running deep. So, again, another aspect to the game that they just now opened into almost 8 games into the season. They just now figuring out how to get that deep ball out.
Well, he needed time to get that pass off because that was a pass route.
Yeah, that was a very long route, and it was a well-ran route by Hollins. Hollins ran a very good route, going to the outside with the complete look off and then turning it back upfield. As far as the Cousins hot read blitzes, he ended up actually adjusting to the blitzes at one point. They were trying to figure out. That's why he ducked down on the goal line because he didn't want them to blitz him. He ducked down completely, and then he came up and threw the ball. So obviously they noticed that he couldn't get out of those blitzes, and they adjusted to it. They adjusted to it well. I think the only biggest problem that you guys had was there wasn't enough time on the clock. There just wasn't enough time on the clock. You guys started them out to come back. Was it too little too late? Probably. But you guys started them out to come back, and there just wasn't enough time on the clock. And then
they get away from
the game was over.
I think
when Swearinger started getting exposed, that's when the game started getting away from the Redskins.
True. And I also think that, like I said, I agree with that. And I think that when you don't make those key plays on defense at those moments that really need to be made, you can't change. You can't get that swing of momentum in your favor. And they never got to that point where they were able to get the momentum in their favor. Besides when they were leading in the beginning of the game. Now, as far as what you say about struggle, I'm not talking about, coming back from being down in the game. I'm talking about week after week after week. And when you're seeing, tough struggles, or when your team isn't playing as well as they should be. I mean, at the beginning of a game, it's going to be kind of sloppy sometimes. It's going to be things that happen. And, I expect that. I didn't expect anything less from the Eagles. I didn't think because they started from their own 3-yard line with a bunch of penalties that they weren't going to play well the whole game. I knew they were going to come back, and play hard. I mean, they're a good team. That's what they're supposed to do. I'm talking about like a team that has some success, but then they go through some rough patches, a couple of rough games, and then they bounce back. I mean, the thing is, I'm not saying that Wentz can't, go through struggles and recover from it. But what I'm saying is, you look at this dude last year, and they're like, he even said it himself. He thought he was going to get cut because he played terrible last year. But he comes back this year, and he plays better, no doubt. I give him that credit. But I'm not going to – is he a top 20 quarterback in the league this season? Right now, yes. But when you're an NFL analyst like Adam Schefter and you're talking about he could possibly be one of the top 20 of all time, that's crazy talk. This dude ain't even had a whole good season yet. That's crazy talk. And that's exactly what he said.
Of all time?
Yeah, I swear. I lied
of all time?
Yes, of all time. He said he is a top 20 quarterback right now. And I agree with that. But when he was like, he has the chance to be the top 20 of all time, I'm like, come on, man. Let the dude play a whole season. Let him make the playoffs first. Let him make the playoffs.
You said top 20 of the NFL. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to be top 20 quarterback in the NFL right now.
No, I agree. I agree with that.
The NFL has a lot of teams that are just going downhill right now. We're trying to figure out who the best teams are in the NFL. If you look across the league, back in the day, we would have saw tons of teams at 6-1. We saw tons of teams leading their division running away with it. Right now, you don't. It's a battle for everybody right now. If you look across the AFC and NFC, a lot of teams are currently battling. And you see a lot of teams with 2 to 3 losses right now that you would have looked and you would have said, wow, New England has that many losses? Wow, Pittsburgh has that many losses already? And when you look at those weak divisions that they have, you're kind of surprised that they do have those losses right now.
Yeah.
So if you look as far as quarterbacks, you look as far as yardage, and you know how many touchdowns the Eagles have right now, yeah, he's going to be top 20. And again, like I said in the chat before, it's all about wins. People's numbers can be close all they want to, but those wins are very important.
They are important.
At the end of the day, I mean, Eagles are 6-1, and nobody remembers that they needed a 61-yard field goal against the Giants to help get that record. So
true.
At some point, people just see the records. Hell, Dallas
just see the record. That's it.
Dallas's 2 late game blown leads at home after scoring 30+ points 2 weeks in a row from being 5-1. So it's that. Margin of victory is small in the NFL, man. It's about who make the less mistakes at the most critical points. And I think the Redskins' biggest mistakes against the Eagles came on 3rd down.
On 3rd down and Swearinger with the blown coverages. You're right.
They weren't blown coverages. He just got his doors blown off.
Yeah, that's true. He did. He did. I mean, if you looking at the stats, it wasn't the score isn't that big of it shows a bigger disparity than the stats do.
Yeah.
Like I said, I felt like Kirk Cousins played a pretty good game, all things considered. He played a good game.
Completions, I think.
Yeah, he was 30 or 40.
Yeah, 10 incompletions.
10 incompletions. And I mean, like I said, I'm not mad at that play. I'm not mad at that.
Two of them prior dropped so wholly in his hands. Like those Jones one was in his chest on the sideline. I was like, oh. That
was Pryor's first play of the game in the 3rd quarter. And then but then he turned around and called a 3rd down pass right after that though.
So he's kind of in his own head at this point.
He's in his own head. That's really what it comes down to. And my thing is this, man. if you can't get it together in your head, and get out the damn way and let somebody else step up.
But they
gotta
need
move on.
I mean, they can't just say Doc's and their man. They need Pryor to step up.
I agree 100%.
You always need somebody to pull that second coverage. You need somebody to pull a double team. In the NFL, if you don't have somebody on your team pulling a double team, you got a problem.
You need more
because the speed of the players, they're going to catch you.
Crowder ain't doing it. I mean,
Crowder in his head too, man. After that punt, he fumbled. He's got
Yeah, he did fumble. He fumbled early in the game.
You heard nothing else from him after that. I mean,
I'm glad. He fumbled.
I'm glad Jordan Reed showed up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, Jordan Reed played a great game.
Trouble if he didn't show up.
You know, and for the life of me,
let me talk about this Jordan Reed cat, man.
For the life of me,
let me talk about this Jordan Reed cat.
Hold up. For the life of me, I don't know why in the world they didn't get Thompson more involved in that offense.
Yeah.
What in the hell? This is one of your best players.
Okay.
Come on, man.
We're going to make this digital again. Come here, man. Get closer.
Oh, shit.
If Thompson is not involved in y'all offense, y'all do not win the game.
Why are you so damn close to the camera, man? Back up.
I just want to let you know, I don't feel like I'm in your living room right now because this is real right now because I said this so many times. I got Thompson on my fantasy, man. If he's not involved in the game, y'all don't win the game.
Do you the words?
As simple as that.
Mouth and my face.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Like, seriously.
Hey, look,
I don't know if Jay Groot can hear this. Y'all would have won the game if y'all would have found him. The boy had a touchdown. But then y'all forgot about it. And our linebacker went out the game. So why didn't y'all keep throwing it to him? I don't understand. But he caught Reed. And I want to talk about Reed. Reed is the big.
He's what? I missed it.
He was what we expected him to be. He used his body to shield defenders from the ball, court the ball, did what he had to do. Now, I ain't mad at him. When push comes to shove, I truly feel that if they'd have went to him one more time, y'all probably would have had another score. But it was one where Cousins just couldn't get the ball out of his hand. It's just simple as that. Simple as that. He was wide open. He was running. He was wide open. Cousins he got his hand hit.
Yeah.
That's why I got an interception.
Rare people who looks like he's playing horribly, looks like he's having a bad game, and then at the end of the game, he went 30 for 40. It's hard to figure that guy out. But very well-deserved victory by the Eagles. Carson Wentz had a great game. Had the whole talking heads and the media on fire Tuesday.
Cash, I don't like to dwell in the past. That game's pretty much over. It's time to move on. Hold on. Time to move on.
To the point where he feels like he can just poo-poo victories now. Like, yeah, it's good. We won.
It was all right.
You better.
I tell you what, he ain't
doing embellish
what I got to do.
victories.
He ain't gonna
what I say?
That was coming. Say what you gotta say. Man.
No, I'm good. I was saying he ain't gonna like what I'm gonna have to say later. He ain't gonna like
it.
Okay.
So let's talk about
everybody got words. Everybody got words after the L.
We can talk about everybody got words after the L. We can talk about Trevis. Will you turn that shit off, man? You can talk here and there. You're trying to put it on low, like so you can just have it like white noise in the background. It's annoying.
All I'm saying is that was my background music.
Yeah. Boy, you specialize at getting on my damn nerves.
Yeah, that was my background music. Let's go.
So boys Niners, get that out the way before we move on to next week. I was happy with the W, of course, and it came off kind of how I predicted, how I kept reminding you guys about how we get blown out at Cheney, after having all those close games. Like I said, they're the first team in history to lose 5 straight games by 3 points or less.
Yeah.
And when you're struggling like that and you can't get that W and you can't get over that hump, next thing you know, you get blown out.
Next thing you know, you run into the hump.
Yeah, that hump, like, damn, we can't get
They
over it.
ran into the hump. It was like, whoa, this is where we really are.
This is 40-10. That's why Parcells had one of the best quotes ever. I heard him say when he was a Cowboys coach. He probably said it before that. But he always would say, you know, when people would make excuses about the records, like I said, how I said a few minutes ago, how the Cowboys were two blown leads late in games, you know, or they would be 5-1. Parcells doesn't live by that creed. He always said, you are what your record says you are. You know, you can all the stuff you want, make all the excuses. The Niners were 0-6, and that's what their record said. And, you know, yeah, you had all these close games, but that 40-10, you're closer to that 40-10 than what you were to those 3-point
losses.
And that's what they learned the hard way. I was happy to see Zeke get going again, and now that's 3 games in a row where, you know, this offense is starting to look like it's shaping up. You know, I think we finally got the left guard position solidified after, you know, going back and forth between Chaz Green and Jonathan Cooper. So I think we settled in on Jonathan Cooper. So we have our 5 now. There's no more musical chairs at left guard. So, just, you know, barring injury, let's go. You know, just ride with them for the rest of the season. So I'm happy to see that. Got Sean Lee back, got Anthony Hitchens back, you know, held Carlos Hyde to like 60, 70 yards. So I'm happy about that. Now, I don't want to get too excited for blowing out a winless team, but confidence is everything in football, man. You know,
but that's what you should do. That's what you should do. When you got a team that's struggling in front of you, you should destroy them.
Destroy them, you know, and they went there on the road and did what they were supposed to do. So confidence goes a long way. They don't care that they were a winless team. They care that they feel good about themselves right now. That's what they care about. You know, and that's what's important. So get to go into FedEx and do it again. That's always a fun game. Boy, that's always
one of the top 3 rivalries. One of the top 3 rivalries in all of sports.
That joint goes back a long way. That goes so far back to where our owners hated each other. That's how that works.
Y'all know the history behind that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they hated each other, man.
They hate each other. Because actually the Dallas Cowboys were supposed to be the Washington Redskins.
Right. Fight song and everything. So
yeah. Then he was like, all right, well, I'm leaving. I'm gonna go make the Houston somethings. I forgot what y'all were gonna be called. The Houston somethings. And then they were like, no, I think I'll move down to Dallas and call them the Dallas Cowboys.
It was the Dallas, they were the Dallas Texans is what they started out at.
There you go. Dallas Texans. There you go.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know about that history about the strike season and the Scabs and how they even had beef with that season. I didn't realize that until I watched the 30, I think it was either the E60 or 30 for 30. I think it was 30 for 30 about a month ago. It's like, wow, I didn't realize that. And I'm watching it, like, looking at it like, oh, I hope the Redskins won that game.
Yeah.
That was crazy, man. That was a crazy story. I did not remember that, man.
Y'all would have more fights in the stadium if they actually told that story before every game.
Yeah.
There would be so many fights in the stadium just because they built it up. Like in 19 such and such, the Washington Redskins owners had issues, and one owner moved them to such and such. But if they played that before a game, it would be a war in the stands.
That's probably
anybody that showed up, huh?
Right. Going to
no, but see, you should want to embrace such a enriched history. If you showed up that day with a Cowboys jersey on, you just put your life on the line.
Hey, man.
That's spoken like a true Eagles fan that used to go to the vet.
Right.
Yup. You just put your life on the line.
Nah.
They play that right before you just put your life on the line.
The game should be played
They
on
used
the
to
field,
play-
not in the stands.
Yeah, they used to play the reason why the Eagles hate the Cowboys so much.
Oh my God.
When they used to put the cheap shots on some of our players back in the day.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
Man, look,
you think I ain't know about that? Y'all put the cheap shots on our players back in the day. They played that in the stands one time. Everybody caught that butt whooping.
Yo,
I guess they decided they ain't never gonna play that again.
please, I don't want to hear nothing about no Eagles history. Let's talk about the Giants and the Seahawks.
You want to hear about Giant history though? You want to hear about Giant history?
I
Seriously, really?
No, I
This is
don't.
what we're gonna do?
I'll be 1,000%.
You just gonna turn to Giant history?
I ain't watched jack about that game. I don't know.
I don't even think we should talk about it. They got blown out. It's a wrap.
You didn't.
Look,
They got blown out so bad that Eli Manning is about to get traded.
All I know is
That's how bad it is.
they didn't score 20 again. So I think they started their streak.
They're about to start from scratch all over again. All over again.
They got major issues, and it's gonna take a while for them to recover from that. And I'm electing for the Giants for them to start anew and get rid of Eli, let him go somewhere else. Call this season a wrap and be done with it because it's not gonna get any better.
This is
All I want to know.
I
want to know is this: how long will it take for the New York Giants to have a black quarterback? How long will it take?
A century.
Who coming out?
Because if you look at their history, they have never had a black quarterback.
Yeah.
Look at them. Yeah, look at them because I looked it up. God damn it, I looked it up. Never had a black quarterback. Never. I looked it up. Every name that's on there, none of them is black. None of them.
Well, you know, they might have to face that real soon. There's the one thing that Eagles fans, Cowboys fans, and somewhat Redskins fans can feel good about, and that's that we have our quarterbacks for the future. The Giants are about to enter those
injury, we have.
Yeah, that's
but if I was the Giants, I would not get rid of Eli Manning. I wouldn't get rid of him.
Hold on, question. Did you mean black quarterback that starts or black quarterback on the roster?
Starts.
Yeah, I thought they had.
Of course, I meant start.
Okay.
They had someone on the roster.
Starts.
Didn't they?
Starts like their quarterback that started, like their quarterback that actually played in the game and dropped back and threw passes.
Because Geno
don't say he came in as a second string.
Because Geno Smith is their backup.
Right now?
Yeah, Geno Smith is their backup.
Geno Smith gonna get some.
Hold up, but they are confident that he is never getting in the game.
He gonna get some burn soon.
Dude,
Eli Manning has the longest streak as a quarterback. He's never getting in the game.
I don't think Eli due to injury.
If Eli was smart, he would go to the Jaguars now.
They're happy with Blake.
Why? Who's the coach? Who's the coach?
It ain't about who the coach is. It's about
because he got the running game. Because he got the running game. He got the running game.
Nah,
but the ball hurt.
About who's in that? It's about hold on. It's about who's in that front office with Tom Coughlin, and it's about that defense. It ain't about that. And they got a running game.
But man, they're happy with Blake.
Yeah,
they're happy with Blake Bortles.
Huh?
They're happy with.
That's a lie. They just don't want Colin Kaepernick. They just don't want Kaepernick. They're not happy with Blake Bortles.
I can't say they're convinced with Blake Bortles either, man. That guy sucks.
They're not happy with him.
He's doing well enough for the. I mean, would they take Eli over Bortles? Yeah, but they're trading for him. They're not going to make some drastic move.
Trade? They're going to drop Eli like a bad habit.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
They're going to try to bring in some young guy that can run. That's what they're going to do.
If they better start looking towards the future. I know that much. I don't know what quarterback's coming out this season, but it's that
not
time.
Geno Smith.
No, is that because they have to see that Dallas, pretty much lucked into Dak. Eagles went after their guy. And the Redskins, don't they just want to keep dating Kirk Cousins. They don't want to marry him. So I don't know what's going on.
I mean, here's the thing.
They won't put a ring on that man's finger, and I don't know. I can't understand it.
Well, here's the thing. Worst case scenario, they franchise tag him for the 3rd year in a row, which it'll be the first time that ever happened. And you get him for another year, and maybe they can convince him to sign a long-term deal after that.
They're making him a rich man. That's what them. That's like $60 million in 3 years.
Yeah, it is. You're right. You're 100% right.
He can't complain too much about that.
Nah.
Man.
But I mean, who knows, man? But the Giants are done. I don't want to talk about them no more.
Yeah, they're cooked. They're so bad. Right now. Their representative.
They gotta buy.
Well, Dumas don't even show up to talk on their behalf anymore.
Exactly, right?
Ooh, man, if that's
sometimes you gotta man up and show up and talk about it. You
gotta man up. I mean, that's embarrassing for him just to not show up.
Let's be real about it. If his team were winning, if the
Giants he'd be the first one every day.
If they were doing as good as what all the analysts said they were gonna do and win the NFC East and so on and so forth, he'd be here every week on time or early.
Hey, what's up with the time? Y'all ready? Let's go.
I need the link. I gotta put on my shades because my future's so bright.
Yo, you sound just like
need the link. But hey, man, his team got to get it together.
It's like I put on my shades because my future's so bright.
I gotta put on my shades because my future's so bright. These my wife's shades.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
He said all that.
Put on your wife's shades. Big giant ass shades. Gotta put on my wife's shades.
Them bumblebee eye, them fly eye shades.
Damn blue blockers. Yeah.
He said all that. Oh my gosh. Wow. Yeah. He couldn't even send us a message say, yo, I'm not gonna make it. He just tapped out.
Just didn't. Just said I'm not gonna show.
I quit.
He's like, I won't do it. I can't do it.
We killed him too much the last time he was on. Yes, y'all are relentless, man.
Boy, he was so quiet. He was so quiet.
Y'all ran Dubin off, man. Oh my gosh. That's okay. He'll see this and see we still dogging his name. We gonna dog him whether he here or not till he show up.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. Your team sucks. It is what it is. Hell, I've been there.
Yep.
I've been there. But moving on. Next week, Giants are on the bye. Thank goodness for Dumas.
Yep. They can't lose.
Can't lose. Might come out with a new quarterback. Trevis, how you feel about this impending doom of a rainstorm, when your boys host the Niners?
I'll tell you right now, I'm a little fearful, considering the fact that Wentz is going to be restricted due to the continuous rainfall that they're broadcasting to come to Philadelphia this Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
When you talk about the Philadelphia Eagles, you're talking about a team that is 28.4, and which makes us fifth in points in the league. 381.4, which also makes us fifth in yards in the league. 249.7, which makes us ninth in the league, and 131.7, which makes us fourth in the league in rushing. So I'm looking at the Philadelphia Eagles right now, and I'm pretty much saying we have to get our running game moving in this particular game due to the fact that the rain is going to be coming. They're predicting 20 miles per hour and wind, which may be a situation for Wentz. I've yet to see him in a rain game. Just like many years ago when we played Detroit, I never seen Bradford in a snow game.
What did you say?
You never,
Trevis?
Our rushing rank is fourth.
Okay.
131.7. Fourth. It's ranking fourth in the league right now. So who knows how? I think that's the entire team. I don't think that's one running back.
Right. Yeah.
Our team is a Russian standpoint.
Yeah.
So currently my fear is that, we have to switch to the run the entire game and it becomes a 5 yards in a cloud of dust, which is obviously not the Eagles' strong point. The strong point is their passing game and their ability to stretch the field. So I think, barring a whole bunch of stupid little penalties and an occasional drop pass that we may need, that if it wasn't pouring down raining outside, we would get. I still think the Eagles defense should be able to cover a Niners offense who I don't even know anything about their offense, to say the truth, nor do I give two shits. So I'm going to say the Eagles defense should pretty much smother the Niners offense as far as the number one running back and hide. So I just don't want it to end up being this muddy rain game where it's slippery and everything is all about people being able to hold on to the ball. Why? Because I haven't seen the Eagles in this particular type of environment yet. I don't know what I'm going to get this Sunday.
You're right, because when you have one team so far outmatched, something like those elements could be an equalizer. So you really don't know what's going to happen with that. I know they should blow the Niners out, especially with that rookie quarterback of theirs who I wasn't that impressed with. And I'm sure they will pressure him all day. They'll load up against the run because Carlos Hyde is really all they have. They have some decent receivers, but the quarterback he's no good. I don't even know why they made that switch. I think he gave them a brief spark against the Redskins and they got carried away with it, but he's not ready for prime time. Not even close. So unless the elements help them out, I see y'all being what, 7-1? Yeah, 7-1.
Yeah, we'll be 7-1.
So let me interject.
Please do.
Trevis is not gonna like what I'm gonna say, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I agree with both of your guys' statements. I think that the elements can play a very, very big role in this game. And if this game turns into a ground and pound type game, the 49ers ain't got nothing to lose.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to come out swinging like it ain't nothing. And that quarterback, I agree, Mike, he ain't ready for the prime time, but you know what else he ain't? He don't give a damn, and he ain't scared. He don't care.
Yeah.
He don't care if he make a mistake. He don't care if he get hit in the mouth. I mean, this is his 10 minutes of fame, and he going to live every minute, every second of that 10 minutes up. He going to do it. So I think in that respect, that plays in the 49ers' favor.
Yeah.
But the problem is the 49ers just that they aren't a good enough of a team. The Eagles are better than the 49ers. The Eagles,
right.
if you match them teams up position by position, the Eagles should murder them.
Right.
It shouldn't be a game. And this is what Trevis is not gonna like. I'm picking the Eagles for this game. I'm picking the Eagles.
Oh my God,
man! This week 8. This is the first time you.
I'm picking the Eagles. So.
No! You finally picked y'all against a winless team. That's what it took for Maine to pick y'all.
I'm picking the Eagles.
He said, I guess I could pick them now. Shit.
I'm just saying. I'm picking
no. Please tell me that you think their defense is going to do something big. Please.
I will say this. If it becomes a ground and pound game, I'm going to give the nod to the 49ers only because their running game is really good. Carlos Hyde is good. He's a good back.
Yeah, he runs hard too.
He runs really hard. And I think the Eagles, they have that running back by committee, but they've had their share of injuries at running back. And they don't seem to get their offense going through the running game. That could spell problems later on in the season. I don't know. But in a game like this, it's going to be messy where it ain't going to be a whole bunch of throwing the ball down the field or not. I won't say throwing the ball down the field, but throwing the ball a good amount. Because if you look at the stats, Carson Wentz, of his passes over 50 yards, he's only about 25% or so. He's not a He's not a huge throw the ball all the way down the field type quarterback. Not to say he's not good. I'm just saying that's what the stat is. So, you know, I don't know, man. I mean, I think the Eagles are gonna win. I'm picking the Eagles to win this game. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout because I think it's gonna be a messy game. But I'm picking the Eagles to win that game. Sorry, Trevis.
This is so, I think you know what I think? I think truthfully, I so think this. I don't believe Avery's telling the truth.
No,
I don't believe that.
I'm dead serious.
I don't believe that he truly is picking the Eagles. I don't think any of our viewers should believe this crocodile bullshit that's going on right now. You heard the gestures in which he made where he said, "Oh, well, the Niners could win." I think that is truly the way that he stands, and I truly do not believe no way and no how he's actually picking the Eagles. So, Eagles fans, we have no worries right now. And what he's actually saying out of his mouth, not at all.
When we have our predictions, you watch what score I give, and that will tell you everything you need to know. I'm telling you right now, I'm picking the Eagles to win that game.
Oh, he's picking them.
If the Eagles don't win that game, shame on them. Shame on them. I'm sorry. They should win that game. I'm picking the Eagles for that game.
If we don't win that game, we truly dropped the ball and we actually look past them and look at the Broncos. I think that game.
They're trash now too.
And for what, right? They're trash now too, exactly. Because Simeon, who knows what the hell he's doing? But I mean, not to even look at him anymore. They have to. The one thing that we didn't do last season was finish off those opponents that we should have finished off. And just like Bill Parcells said, you know, that you quoted earlier, Mike, you are what your records say you are. And this season, we are finishing off those people who we should have to finish off at the end of the games. And I'm hoping that they do not look past these San Francisco 49ers and they actually destroy them. And they say, hey, look, you know, this is how good we are.
The best thing I can say about the Eagles in relation to Dallas and how, you know, I've said this before about how teams just, you know, they hit that magical point and things just snowball. You know, it's like nothing can stop them at some point. And I think the Eagles are getting closer and closer to that. The one thing I see that makes the Eagles real strong is that this crazy, I don't know what the league average is on third down percentage, but I guarantee you the Eagles are either at the top or right up there.
They're number one. They're number one.
That's what I thought, like by a mile.
We're number one. We're number one at third down. We're number one at rushing defense.
Yeah, so, and it's funny because stuff like that, those stats go hand in hand. You think one is offense, one is defense, but that's the formula Dallas used. They kept the ball and they exposed this way, was less exposure for their defense. Now, what makes the Eagles scary as opposed to Dallas last year, like Dallas was hiding an average defense by keeping the ball. The Eagles have an elite defense, as well, at least an elite front seven, and they have some damn good safeties, and their corners are holding their own. So it's like, yeah, we're holding the ball all this time. Now you finally have it. Now defense gonna bust your ass, and you gonna go 3 and out. We're gonna be right back out there. You know, Dallas didn't have that luxury. You know, it was like Dallas had to struggle, you know, getting that defense off the field. So that's what makes the Eagles real scary, because they can hold the ball. Then they have an elite defense when they do give the ball up.
Took the Eagles 5 years to build that defense line. Gotta like it. Gotta like it. Took them 5 years to build it.
And
because
it's
everybody
funny.
They bought in, it took them 5 years.
They had a complete first-round bust on that D-line and still managed. I don't know. I mean, you know what? They did well in free agency, you know, picking up Chris Long.
Yeah.
Was damn. Timmy Jernigan, top-notch pickup.
Yeah.
You know, they re-signed Vinny Curry, which was smart, and they made some damn good picks. And
then you got Allen. You got Allen, big boy Allen. I mean, he's not the fastest, but he's a stuffer in the middle.
And they were so, you know, they're doing so well with their D-line signings that they were able to let Benny Logan go, which mean, he was a beast. And they were like, oh, yeah, go ahead. You costing us a little too much. We don't want to re-up that contract. And they haven't
He
skipped
was
a
an
beat.
idiot. He could have stayed with a great team. He could have stayed.
But
he could have been
he went,
named.
but he went to KC, right?
Yeah, he went on the
So he's
Andy Reid curtain.
He okay. He took the money and he went to another good team. So I'm sure
Macklin did the same thing. Where he at right now?
Well, that was Macklin. I don't think Benny Logan gonna flame out like Macklin because D linemen come at a premium. So
okay.
Macklin flamed out. Macklin flamed out because of injury too. He couldn't stay healthy for nothing.
Yeah, and he was never that good, to be perfectly honest with you. I mean, he was good. He wasn't elite. And good wide. Very long.
Yeah. He had flashes of he had flashes. He had moments where he looked really good, but then the moments that he didn't look really good, he just looked subpar.
Yeah. Yeah. But he was being paid as a number one, and he's always been a number two receiver. It was never.
I agree 100%.
That's what happened to Macklin. But yeah, I think your boys are looking strong, Trevis. I'm not gonna give them too much praise, but that's the one thing I do have to say about them is that they keep the ball, and then they can bring an elite defense on the field. Now, a lot of teams aren't able to do that.
Yeah. Let's move on. Cowboys, Redskins.
Boys, skins. Renew the rivalry.
Yeah. Like I said, one of the top 3 rivalries in all of sports. This is a big game. It's a big game for both teams. It's a real big game for both teams because we want to at least feel like we pinching the damn Eagles.
Exactly. Can't let them get too far in front, especially now that they had the Niners and the Broncos in consecutive weeks. So
yeah, you at least want to keep them in eye shot. And I think it's also a big game because we could be potentially battling for a wild card spot.
Right.
So this is a huge game for both teams. Looking at these stats, man. These teams are a lot alike in a lot of ways. In a lot of ways. I break it down in a few categories. If you look at the offense, Dallas has definite weapons. For sure. You got a sure-handed tight end in Witten. You got Beasley that can always break one on you in a matter of moments. You got Dez Bryant who can always go get the ball at the highest point and make great catches. He's a really good receiver, no doubt about it. You got that damn Zeke that just runs like he's possessed, like he's on a mission 3 games in a row, can't stand his ass. And you got Dak that's playing awesome ball in my opinion. I think he's playing really well. He doesn't get the praise because the Cowboys record doesn't back up his play. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I do see holes on the Cowboys just like I see holes on the Redskins. That defense needs work. They do have some key elements, but that defense needs work. And I think ultimately this game is going to come down to who can make the play when it needs to be made on offense. Who can get that score and make that play that needs to be made. Whoever defense can make that one play and make that one stop, that could be the game.
Yeah.
That could very well be the game.
Yeah.
If Josh Norman is able to play, I might give the Redskins defense a little bit of a nod over the Cowboys defense, but we got holes just like y'all do. Mm-hmm. We got holes just like the Cowboys do. You spoke about Swearinger earlier. That boy can't cover. He couldn't cover you if he had a damn blanket. He just couldn't do it. And I like our D-line, but we have injuries on our D-line, but they're not finishing plays like they should, hence, if you look at that Eagles game, there are 2 opportunities where they should have sacked Wentz, should have sacked that damn quarterback, but they didn't. And And you got to make those plays. You just got to do that. So, I think I won't say it'll be a shootout, but I'll say it'll be a high-scoring game. It's not going to be a shortage of scoring in that game.
Right.
And I think, it's going to come down to whose offense can get it going earliest, who can move the ball down the field, and who can remain the least amount of mistakes are going to win that. Is going to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
So,
it's supposed to rain. Is it going to do that in DC as well? I didn't.
Yep.
They are expecting rain
up and down the eastern seaboard. But I say this, and I heard what you had to say, Maine, about the teams, and I will reject back to this, and I'll say, look, just like Cash say, both of your teams, your records are what they are, and your record says you are who you say you are. But in this particular instance, who has the better field goal kicker? That's who's going to win that game, and that's just pretty much is what it is.
I can't stand you. I got look, you'll know why. Man. You'll know why when we play this game.
Well, well, yeah, I think y'all both know about Dan Bailey now. We don't have Dan Bailey anymore. Yeah. And I'm not putting.
So who has the better kicker? That's the question. Who has a better kicker? Like, you're gonna need your kicker. I guarantee you, there's gonna be times where you're gonna need your kickers. And we both know what the Redskins kicker, after looking at against the Eagles last week, he couldn't get that ball in the air. Like, who's the kick?
Can sign a damn rookie off another team's practice squad. I don't want to hear no damn excuses. Get the shit done. They signed a rookie off Bengals practice squad. This cat kicking 61-yard game winners. Suck it up. Shit.
Yeah.
Right? You gotta tell him right then and there. Hey, put this through, dog. I don't care about nothing else. That's all you gotta do in your life. Put it through.
No, maybe they need to offer.
They missed one too, man. That's something.
Game checks like Carson Wentz.
Nobody remembers, but he missed one last game. I was a little pissed about that.
Well,
Elliott, he missed one. It hit off the uprights.
Yeah, he did, and it messed my fantasy game up too. Punk ass fool.
Exactly, but he got me 13. But I mean, I was just a little pissed. Like, damn.
I need 16.
He got me 16, dog.
So what say you, Mr. Cash?
Whoo, man. Boy, it's always a good one, man. That's all I know. I've only been to one Cowboys Skins game in DC, and that was an adventure in itself. And I've been to one in Dallas, and it's just different, man. It's different. I would have thought there would be more animosity towards the Eagles in Dallas, but it was the exact opposite. Like, Redskins, Cowboys, it's brutal. It's for real. And I think that, the players feel that, especially the Redskins players. I don't know how much everybody's kind of happy-go-lucky in Dallas, but that animosity bleeds over from the fans to the players, for the Redskins. Like, I definitely noticed that. Like, they have real hatred. Dallas just kind of go about their business, even if the fans don't. They don't, the fans get after it. But the players are just like, oh, it's just another game. We just want to win. Yeah, it's a rivalry, whatever. So I think Josh Norman is going to play.
Yeah.
They say he was pissed that Gruden didn't let him play last week. And I said last week it seemed like he was more likely to play than Brashard. What's his name? Brashard?
Yeah, Brashard Breeland.
Breeland?
Yep.
Yeah, Brashard Breeland.
Yep.
I thought he was more likely to play than Brashard Breeland, but he didn't play. They said 2 to 4 weeks originally, so this will be the 4th week. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, you see a lot of teams today keeping their players out to the extent now. They're not trying to bring them back any earlier.
There's kind of this thought right now as far as Josh Norman goes, where we know how this rivalry he has with Dez. So it's like, well, you know, is he eager to play against Dez? Is he going to do everything he can to play, or will he sit out because he wouldn't be able to be 100%? His pride wouldn't let him take Dez doing them, you know, and talking mess to him when he wasn't 100%. So it's like, which Norm are you going to get? You know, it's hard to tell because I don't think he'll be 100%, even if, you know, a couple shots to those ribs, man. Cracked ribs are serious.
Yeah, and is it breathing? It's going to take away from his ability to, you know, take them long runs downfield.
Exactly. Can't even.
You know, you definitely see. I mean, I can't believe 2 to 4 weeks on what? On ribs.
Yeah.
You know, we talking about ribs. We talking about your entire ability to breathe.
I guess
that's to figure out what his actual injury was.
Well, that's enough to shoot him up, I guess.
Yeah, you saying 2 to 4 weeks on a punctured lung? I think they're playing with the words on this one. I don't think he actually had a punctured lung.
Well, Romo played with punctured lungs and broken ribs before, but he was taking Toradol shots, and you know,
you took the words right out of my mouth, Cash. I was just about to say Romo played with a similar injury.
Yeah,
with a similar injury.
Multiple.
And they probably were playing with that too. You're saying, oh, he punctured. You ever puncture a balloon and think that balloon is going to come back out of nowhere? Nah. You punctured?
They do it, man.
Come on, man. Punctured 2 to 4 weeks, a punctured lung?
I read the report. I read the report. They say he got stabbed in the heart with a dagger. They say he had a punctured lung.
I'm not. The last thing I would do is believe that the NFL would hype up an injury. If anything, they try to downplay injuries and hide injuries. So if they're saying he has a punctured lung and broken ribs, I believe it.
Okay.
They don't exaggerate it. That's the exact opposite of what they're accused of.
Right.
Okay.
Very true.
Yeah. So
I wish we had a caller call in that had a punctured lung before, because that's amazing. You playing football with a punctured lung in 2 to 4 weeks.
I've had bruised ribs before, and I was whining. So
it sucks. I've had
so you talk about your rib punctured your lung, and I'm gonna go back out there and run around? Come on, man. Come on. You gotta be kidding.
Like I said, I've never had a Toradol shot. So from everything I hear, those things work wonders. Romo was getting a Toradol shot a week when he messed up his back, when he had a broken back. He was literally getting a Toradol shot every week. And you know
how they embellish on the height of certain players, and they say players are taller than what they actually are. I think that these injuries are particularly that. Like, we're just going to say a little bit more. It makes him look more like Superman.
What does that buy him, though? That doesn't buy him anything.
Lying about height buys them something. Lying about injuries gets them nothing.
It makes him look like Superman so that they could get on the TV and they could say, oh, Josh Norman came back from a punctured lung with 4 weeks in 4 weeks just to go up against Dez Bryant. Man, now he's locking Dez Bryant down.
With all this stuff going on with CTE and concussions and them not protecting the players from themselves and all that, they're not gonna fake these injuries, man.
Right.
It's a liability for them to do that. It doesn't make sense for them to do that. It doesn't make them any more money. Brand look any better by making
Josh Norman will look like Superman. He comes back and destroys Dez Bryant.
He'll just look like another player who played through a tough injury.
Nah, if he comes back and destroys Dez Bryant after having a punctured lung, he's gonna look way better than what he actually
look
is.
At him, Trevis.
Well, nobody cares about him.
No, you're ready to call him Superman if he comes back and plays well. So
I'm just saying. I mean, if you really had a punctured lung, show me the X-rays. I want to see it actually punctured. He looked like he was talking enough trash on the sideline where he could actually talk. He was fine.
These dudes have medical stuff that aren't available. Do you realize Jason Witten didn't miss a game after rupturing his spleen? He had to get approved by 2 doctors. Like, one doctor wouldn't approve, so he went to New York and had a doctor approve him to play.
Yeah, they paid that doctor a lot of money.
Yeah, it probably did, but he played with it. So that's what they do.
Right. Okay. I mean, you could get your spleen taken out. You'd be all right.
It's what they do. So it is what it is. But continuing on, I know the Redskins, you know, when you play these division games, you get beaten up. And both the Redskins took a beating, you know. So Cowboys can kind of benefit from that, you know, being in the second week, you know. Because that
is Lee back yet?
Who? Sean Lee
back yet?
Yeah, I said him and Hitchens.
He was back last week.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He came back last week. Okay. That's maybe why y'all got y'all little 40 piece.
Yeah, exactly. And his old line took a beating. I know is Scherf. What happened with Scherf?
Brandon Sheriff, he had a knee. He got rolled up on.
Right. So his and then y'all had Moses, I think, sprained both of his ankles.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Trent Williams, he's playing with a knee injury that he's gonna have surgery on at the end of the year, but he's just gonna play through it
right
now.
And y'all center went down.
Hold up. Can we refer back to something that I said about Brandon Marshall? When I said that fool had a knee injury that he played with, then when he realized the team wasn't winning, he decided to go get that surgery on his knee. Okay, I just want to leave it at that. That's it. Go ahead.
Ain't nobody listening to your damn Philadelphia Inquirer backstage news story, man. Nobody
Hey, I'm just trying to get it on record, man. I just want to get it on record. That is it. I just want to get it on record that I said it, that players do that. And when they find out that their team ain't winning this shit, let y'all not win the next 3 games. He's going to go get that surgery. He's not playing anymore. He's going to go get that surgery. He's going to fall out. He's going to fall out. He's like, and he's going to go get the surgery. I guarantee you, man. I guarantee you.
We have our very own NFL conspiracy theorists, ladies and gentlemen.
Jesus Christ. This guy.
I called it. And you know one of your players is trying to play through an injury and go get surgery at the end of the year. That's all that matters. That's it.
But look here.
So I will wrap up, man. Just, you know, it's gonna be a good game as it always is. I'm thinking it's gonna be high scoring. I'm thinking 31-28-ish.
Yeah.
I think even despite the elements, I think they're both going to do their thing, man, on offense. I know I want to, well, I won't say that too much. I was going to say the Redskins get the edge as far as defense goes, but I think it's really close. I think they have they both have their strong suits. Redskins have a damn good defense, and they got to Carson Wentz. They just picked the wrong times on 3rd down not to get to him.
Right.
And the Redskins also have this other stat that is kind of trending for them right now, where they are bad at closing out the first half.
Yep.
They've given up like 50-something points this season in the last 2 minutes of the first half, which is amazing.
Yeah. One thing the Redskins have been doing better this season, I spoke to it earlier on in like week 1 or 2, is they're starting out well. They're actually starting games pretty well. They coming out in the first quarter and putting points on the board, which is something they didn't do for a long time.
Yeah.
So that's one of the trends that plays in their favor. But you are correct. Closing the half is not their strong suit. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not.
And Dallas has been getting off the hot starts too, so it's like that's going to be interesting to see. Might come out 7-7 from the word go.
Man, look, I'm telling you, and I think it's going to be a lot of fireworks. It's going to be a lot of good plays, and like I agree with Trevis. It may come down to a field goal kicker, and it may come down, and like I said, it may come down to somebody making that one good defensive play on either side of the ball.
Yeah,
I mean, this is going to be a close game. I don't see one team blowing out the other. I don't see it.
Yeah.
These two teams are too evenly matched, in my opinion, for that to be the case.
Right. Yeah, I don't see it either. As much as I would love to have a blowout because less stress.
Yeah.
I just don't see it happening. Don't see it happening. So with that,
hey, look, what we doing? What we doing?
You know what's about to happen. And what we have here right now, ladies and gentlemen, is Talking NFC Beast Game Time. And this week, we're going to have one Jermaine Avery present us with a game for the week.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
What you got for us?
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome yourselves to Panic or Patience.
Panic or Patience. Okay.
Panic or Patience. In this game, I will be asking my fellow co-hosts a certain question. And to that, they have to answer whether they're going to panic or be patient.
Okay.
So,
that sounds like a scary game, but let's go.
I will go with the one and only Michael Cash, mainly because that is the Redskins' opponent this week.
Right.
And also because Trevis stepping on my damn questions earlier on, I'm gonna go ahead and just get it out of the way.
I hate it when that happens, man, because y'all do it to me all the time. I have questions lined up and y'all don't even realize it. Y'all start talking.
Yeah.
I knew Trevis got you when he said it. I could see the look on your face like this son of
Yo, and I did see that too. He started writing something. He's like, yes, I can't ask that question. He answered that already.
So the question is, Mr. Cash, does the season-ending injury to the one and only Dan Bailey, do you think that will have a huge impact on the Cowboys for the rest of the season? Panic or patience? First
of all, I feel like I need to go check my sources because I didn't know it was a season-ending injury. I haven't been.
It's not.
It's been on the news.
Put him out there.
Yeah.
And he went the loop.
You just scared the hell out of me.
Season ending. Wait, what? He said, was that season ending?
Right.
Was that season ending though?
I mean,
shit, I thought he just went down for a little bit.
Maybe I didn't find that out yet.
I could be wrong. I hope I'm not, but I could be.
I mean,
at any rate.
Yeah, he is injured at least for the next 2 to 3 weeks, as far as I know. So, does that concern me? I don't want to put myself in that space yet. I want to see what Nugent, see what this man has to offer. He's been a kicker in the NFL for a while. So just come in and kick the damn ball, man. Like I said earlier, if the Eagles could pluck a cat off somebody's practice squad, a rookie, undrafted, kick 61-yard game winners, you can sure as hell come out and kick a couple of clutch 40, maybe 50-yard field goals. So just go do your damn job. So I'm going to be patient on that, my man.
And I know that it seems a little bit, maybe it's a little bit overblown to ask about a kicker. But the reason
it's not.
Yeah, well, okay, I feel you. And the reason I did that is because, I think they're going to be close games. I think the Cowboys are going to – those games could very well come down to the kicking game. Mm-hmm. So that's why that question came about. So.
It's a perfectly legit question. I just don't want to put myself in that space worrying about – because, Dan Bailey is one of the best all time. There,
He is.
And I never got nervous when he was kicking for anything. So unless I see this cat start, shanking – 37-yard field goals, and I'm going to try and relax and just stay peaceful about that.
All right, so patient. You're going to be patient.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to be patient.
So, Trevis.
Yes, sir.
Patience. Is it time for the Eagles to hit the panic button or the patient button, being that Hicks and Peters are out?
Well, as far as middle linebacker, they don't have to hit the panic button. They have some linebackers that can actually, come into the game and actually play, with Walker now becoming a full-time starter. And, we have to get Kendricks back. But Najee Good is somebody that we're going to have patience with. He hasn't had as much time as everybody else in there as far as Walker and Kendricks. But as far as left tackle, Nobody knows.
You
Nobody
don't
knows.
love Vitae,
who-
dog? You not liking Vitae?
Man, I don't know, man. I want no Vitae. Vitae, I don't even know. Sometimes you try your best to figure out why a particular player is still in the NFL. Vitae is the only left tackle that when he kicks back, his heel is on the ground. And you try to wonder why your heel is on the ground as a left tackle. You can't do that. You need to be on your toes as you kick back. He might, cross step in front of you, and you gotta adjust your body. If you're on your heel, there's no way that you could stop somebody from crossing your face. And then if they do a crisscross in front of you, I am hitting the panic button on Vitae being our new left tackle. I am completely and utterly scared, and I'm gonna tell you the reason why. Because without Wentz, we don't have an offense, and I'm telling you right now,
that's his backside. That's different from Lane.
Exactly. I want Wentz to get antsy and just start running, because then it takes away the fact that the defense knows he's going to run, and they start to spy him because he doesn't have enough time. They signed Hart. They signed Hart. Hart used to be our defensive tackle, but they moved him to left tackle. So I know he has the strength because he used to play defense, but does he have the legs? Because with tackles, it's all about their ability to step back, punch, move somebody down or push somebody over, to get out there for the screens or, keep a person off the quarterback. I don't know what Hart has on offense. The thing that I'm getting tired of for the Philadelphia Eagles is, why do you keep cutting these guys and then bringing them back? If they weren't good enough to be on the team in the first place, why do you keep bringing them back? Because you're afraid to have to teach somebody new.
The devil is better than the one you don't.
Yeah, exactly. But my whole thing is, please go find somebody better. Please go find somebody that we know is accomplished in the NFL. Go get somebody. Go trade a draft pick. Go do what you have to do to find somebody who actually plays the position. There has to be.
Man, that's hard to do.
There has to be. Look, man, there has to be a horrible team with a good tackle right now who's looking to get off of their team.
It don't work
there
like
has
that.
To be.
It's like the tackle position or offensive lineman position is similar to like finding a good quarterback. It doesn't work like that. They don't come a dime a dozen.
True. I understand, but if you were a Pro Bowler last year and you're on your way to being a Pro Bowler this year, I got a third rounder for you. What's up? And if you're on the Baltimore Ravens right now, do you take that jump? Yes, you do.
It's not you're speaking from a fan standpoint. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah, I hear you, but I could hope, I could wish, I could dream.
I think that's a great question.
Week 8 is the trade deadline, right? Yep. Week 8 trade deadline.
Yep.
Look, man, they got to make some type of push. I mean, you have a bright future ahead of you right now. You lose your quarterback, it is over. Yeah. I'll officially stop watching football. I don't want to watch Foles.
That's an excellent question, man. I think I don't normally react to injuries, but those are two huge injuries, especially the left tackle. But even more, I'm not a big fan of what's his name, Walker. I think you find kind of like we're finding with Jeff Heath now. Sometimes guys are good in spot duty, give them
spot duty in some plays, out some plays. Got a lot of wind with them, not really tired throughout the game.
Right. But the longer you expose them and give them time on task, the more you start to see, efficiencies prop up. So,
who you just described? You know who you just described?
Who?
Junior Galette.
Yeah.
You just described. It's the same way. And, that's why he comes in for certain plays, and they're still waiting for him to come around, man. It's like
right. He just might not.
He may not. He may not.
Yeah.
And that I think that's a part of the reason why Zach Brown has been getting a lot of that burn because Junior Galette just ain't coming around.
Mm-hmm. Well, Zach Brown's better anyway. So
Well, man, there has to be a linebacker on the team that the Philadelphia Eagles can go grab real fast.
Yeah,
there got to be a linebacker out there. There has to be somebody.
That people are tired of Howie Roseman fleecing them, so I'm hoping nobody deals with them anymore.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, right now, they better have a third or fourth rounder for a seasoned linebacker. I'm not looking for you to go get one of the top linebackers in the NFL, but go get a seasoned linebacker who can adjust to the defense, who's ready to play some ball, because we definitely need. I don't think we could keep going the entire way with mediocre linebackers in the middle.
Yeah. I agree. Go ahead. No, go ahead, man.
I had a panic or patience button question for the Giants, but I'm not even gonna bother.
Don't worry about them. Don't worry about it. Don't even respect. So I'm gonna ask you one because that's what I can do now in real time. I'm gonna take your game and flip it back on you, cuz.
You're gonna take my game, cuz. You're gonna take my game.
That's what I'm gonna do right now. That's what I'm gonna do. So there's this ditty of a stat that's out there right now about your beloved Redskins. And the stat goes as such. Only the Bears and the Bills use their wide receivers less than the Redskins.
Wow.
So having said that, are you panicked or patient about the wide receiving core, especially one Terrell Pryor?
Before I answer that question, I wish you could see this. That's exactly what my question is to my damn self. I lie to you on everything I love.
Wow, that's funny.
The poor performance from the wide receiving core caused panic or patience. Redskins, right here. If I had a panic button, that bitch would have been hit 3 weeks ago. Yes.
3 weeks ago. He been holding that in.
It is a problem. And I didn't want to accept it. I didn't want to, speak it into fruition, but there's no mistaking it and there's no denying it at this point.
Right.
The core has to get better. And they're running out of time. They don't have many more weeks. They don't have many more weeks to get into our offense or to learn to understand what Kavanaugh is trying to get them to do, or to make those big plays, or especially Terrell Pryor, who is looking for that big time contract. You're running out of games. You're running out of opportunities. They already took your starting position.
Right.
They already took your starting job. That should be your wake up call. Now, every time they throw you the ball, you gotta catch it.
Right.
You got to catch it, because
if he doesn't start catching, he's out of the NFL next year.
I mean, you got a lot.
Now he'd be somebody's third journey receiver. That's about it.
Yeah.
Exactly. But I know Jay Gruden said that Dotson was drafted in with the hopes or with the intentions on being their number one receiver. I get that. But you don't draft a player like Terrell Pryor, or not draft, but you don't acquire a player like Terrell Pryor to come into your system to not start. You don't do that. That doesn't make sense. So yeah, it's a panic button. Crowder needs to step it up. Grant, he's like the third or fourth option, but he needs to step it up. Dotson, he's not injured anymore, needs to step it up. All of our receivers need to step it up. The only ones that are really catching the ball consistently are Vernon Davis, the backup tight end, Jordan Reed. He just really came around for the most part this game.
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't really been lighting it up.
Injured.
And y'all need to move him to third receiver.
And Thompson coming out of the backfield, the running back, are leading. Vernon Davis and Thompson are leading us in receiving.
And that's good for them, but I guess that's why I said earlier, it's funny with Kirk Cousins, because it looks like he's not playing that well, but he's having good numbers. But that's part of the reason why that perception is there, because he's not throwing to any receivers. Like, he's not getting any production from the receivers. So all these, 30 completions, he should have had well over 300 yards. And I think he just eclipsed 300.
It was 303.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, it's good numbers, but it's a lot of short to intermediate stuff.
It's a lot of fluff.
Dink and dunk plays. A lot of dink and dunk plays.
A lot of fluff. It's a lot of fluff. But, I mean, the ability is there. It's there. You don't make it to the NFL, and you don't make it to that level of play and not be able to play the game.
Right.
So
and
it's there. It's just they got to make it. They got to produce.
They might still be adapting to this new system. They're better than they were week one, but that might, they might still be going through some of those growing pains.
Yeah. And I mean, here's the thing. I mean, if you look at it in this game, that just passed between the Redskins and the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only thing that Carson Wentz had over Kirk Cousins was that he had one more touchdown than Cousins did. But he threw for less yards, and he had less attempts. His percentage was a little bit better, but
yeah,
I mean, he only threw for 268.
It's like cash in when you can, man, and
he made the best of his opportunities. He made the best of what he had, and but again, like I said, going back to it, he didn't throw the ball down the field a lot either. So you're not going to see those huge numbers from him.
Mm-hmm.
But at any rate, I mean, you're right though. The Redskins receivers gotta do better.
So my hope is they suck for at least one more game this week.
I don't.
We figure that out after this week, baby.
Let's roll on to these predictions and get up out of here, man.
Yeah. Let's do these predictions. Let's see here. Not Maine. Chivas, go ahead and put your Niners.
I want to predict one of you guys' games. Yo.
I know you can.
My game, you already know what I'm about to say for my guy game, because it's so close. I just really, really, really feel like I have to call it because it was in my brain, and I really was listening to y'all talk, and I really put two and two together. This is the score. The score is 27-23. Cowboys. I'm telling you the only reason why. I saw the Redskins kicker. Y'all kicker is the worst I have ever seen, and he's on the NFL team. When you kick a ball, but it stays and it goes straight, that's like a high school kick, dog. The ball didn't even go in the air. If y'all looking for him,
you know the
placeholder.
He missed the snap, right?
I don't care. I really don't care. Where that ball went, all of that is considered your special teams. The snapper, the holder, to the kicker, all that is considered one motion for a kick. Okay. You guys, I don't know if you could get it together in a week. I really don't see it happen.
You're putting it on
that's the reason why.
Huh? This is the whole operation.
I'm putting it on a whole. It's an operation from the snap to the hold to the kick. Everybody wants to blame the kicker, but they always say laces in, laces out. Was the ball set? Was it down? You're right. Was it set? It doesn't even matter. I'm blaming it on your whole operation that you got.
For that
I miss a kick somewhere.
For that statement right there, I want to pick the fucking 49ers for that statement right there, but I'm not going to do it.
Yes!
I'm not going to do it.
Let's keep this thing going. Take the Niners. That's perfectly fine. Like I said, 27-23 Cowboys. Cowgirls, unfortunately.
Watch them out. Watch them out.
Cash, may I have your score, please, sir? Cash, may
yes, you may. Yes, you may. I'm going, like I said earlier, I'm going 31-28 with the last second field goal by Mike Nugent for the boys' victory.
All right. And I'm going 34-31 Redskins.
Ooh, man.
Wow. You mean y'all actually make field goals? Okay. So I'll say Eagles, San Fran. I'll say Eagles eclipse in an amazing score here. I know it's going to be raining. And I know this, but every time I think if it wasn't raining, what would the Eagles put up on this particular team? I say they do the thing to them, 42-10.
Shit.
That's funny because you're kind of right along the lines of where I was. I'm saying 31-10.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call it 28-14 Eagles.
28-14. That's fairly
You know,
close.
we average 25, and they don't have any wins, right?
You said that same shit
You
last
say
week.
that every week.
I'm just saying, yo. Let's be realistic. I mean, they really average 25, but actually, I'm sorry. We averaged 28.4. Now,
You know why? You know why? You know why I'm saying 28?
Why?
I'm saying 28 because it's gonna be a wet, messy game. It's not gonna be a whole. I don't think it's gonna be a whole lot of scoring like that. And I don't think you're respecting the 49ers run game enough. And I think that's going to allow them to put a couple touchdowns on the board. I'm not saying that the 49ers are going to win because I don't think so. I think the Eagles are going to win. But I just don't see them. I think they'll get out early and they'll beat them pretty good and pound them, and they'll put it on cruise control and they'll run the ball a lot more, and that will cause them to score a lower number, 28 points. Thank you.
You haven't said that. Hey, I just wanted to show y'all something.
Yo, he's not allowed to make good points anymore, yo. He's not allowed. We're not giving him the end of the speak anymore. Like, we're not gonna do that anymore.
Hey,
that was
man.
too good of a point. I'm just gonna sit there and I'm gonna say 42-10.
Why? Because I said so.
Right? Because I said so. I'm not giving you any points in this particular situation. It's just because I said so.
Your logic. Miss me with that, man.
Right? We're trying to hit that, man.
Well, heck, that's a good session, fellas. We're going to go ahead and get on up out of here just as soon as I could find our outro. Because I thought I had it pulled. No. Turn that off, man.
You got it.
I want you. Oh, I want you, oh, man. Oh, no. Go big blue. Go big Giants. How about them Cowboys? The Giants get no love in Talking NFC Beast, baby. Peace.
None.